Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. I am hunky-dory. Right, I don't often get negativity in my comments on my videos, so when it does come along then it's a little bit concerning, and there was a few on my last video about the avian flu being so close to my house. Now I just wanted to make this video to clear up a few things. Now I had comments saying it's nothing to worry about, avian flu is just like any other flu, it's not a problem, it's man-made, so it's there to like keep numbers down, and even someone turned around and said, what a load of bullshit. So what I want to clear up is that yes, avian flu does its damage every single year. Not really an issue to me, and I don't think it's ever going to get to my aviary. I don't think it's going to be able to, it's going to come in and land inland away from the waterways to my aviary. It's going to stick around the waterways like it always does, or end up on farms, which are usually near waterways. So what I wanted to just clear up is the fact that it's the closest it's ever been to my house, which is quite concerning because I do have a lot of water around me. Places where you can go and walk, take the kids for a walk, lovely scenery. Now my concern is, like I said, 0.3 of a mile away, there is a leisure park, which is full of holiday makers and holiday homeowners. It's got like 9 lakes and all tributaries all the way through the park. Lovely area. People don't want to see dead birds or anything lying around. It's quite concerning. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go for a walk when I've drove down there, but I'm going to go for a walk around the aquadrome, around the leisure park, and then hopefully maybe up to the flood holding reservoir, just to see what the damage is, and if there is so, I can film it and you can all see it firsthand, and then you'll understand exactly what I mean about horrific scenery of dead birds that nobody wants to see. So I'm going to get there and then I shall see you waterside. Right, okay, so the plan of action is as follows. This is the Bill and Mill pub, which actually closed for COVID in 2020 and never ever reopened, and it's just sat like this for the next 5 years. It basically sits at the edge of the leisure park, and most of the tributaries of the water run through the old mill and then they run out onto the Nen. So obviously behind here is the Marina Lake, where obviously the narrow boats and leisure boats and stuff come out, and they head out that way onto the Nen. Now the River Nen is, so if you remember from the last video, 9 miles that way is Wellingborough, and that's the embankment of the River Nen where all the swans were found dead. So what I'm going to do is go around the other side of the building, cross over the bridge into the leisure park, and then firstly follow the Nen along and just see what we can see. So far so good on the leisure park, although it's being looked after by the staff, so I wasn't really expecting to see any dead birds. So far all is good. Haven't seen anything untowards or anything. There is definitely a lack of birds compared to normal. I'm now on, I can't remember the name of them, you won't be able to see it, there's a baby heron flying across the lake. But what I'm going to do now is head back up to the other end where the Willow Lake and the Marina Lake are, which are like the main, the marina is the main area where everyone congregates to feed the birds. So they are usually in, falling tree, they're usually in their hundreds up there just waiting to be fed, like probably like 100, 150 swans, Canadian geese, greylag geese. So I'll be able to tell more number wise when I get back up to that end, because like I said, that's where they mainly congregate up there. So I'm gonna head up there now. It's so warm, it's like 15 degrees and it's nearly the middle of November. It's ridiculous. Nice, not complaining, but it is warm. I'm having a nostalgic moment, whatever it means, nostalgic walk, because this is the Willow Lake. This is the second to last. You've got one more lake over there, which is the Marina Lake, which is where most of the birds are. Quite a lot on here. There's quite a lot of swans mainly. There's still some cygnets still not in full white yet, but yeah, nostalgic walk, because this is where 36 years ago, this is where I had my first job. There used to be rowing boats and pedal boats for hire on this lake. There used to be an island going straight through the middle, but that was took out a long time ago. So you had pedal boats one side, rowing boats the other side, and it was nuts. I think if I remember rightly, I got paid £5 per day, £10 on Sundays, and I worked down here pretty much every single day I could if I wasn't at school, so all through the holidays, which is quite mental when you think about it, because there was like, this used to be like really busy. It's not now, it's derelict. Although Meadow Bay villages, or whatever they're called, that bought Billing Aquadrome a couple of years ago, they're spending a hell of a lot of money, really spending a lot of money. So hopefully it will start bringing people. It is really busy. There's a lot of tourists, there's a lot of people. For this time of year, this would usually be dead. So if you can imagine, at 12 years old, people were coming out of the pubs, drunk, hiring out a rowing boat, rowing out in the lake and jumping off it and capsizing it and filling it with water. It was my job at 12 years old to go out there on a speedboat and pick them all up, you know, 4 burly drunken blokes, and there's little old me in a speedboat. But yeah, a little bit of nostalgia. So walking around here now, over to the Marina Lake over there. Right, okay, it's actually the next morning because I ran out of time yesterday because I had things to do. But I've come down to the main area, which is here, which is where everyone comes to feed the birds. Obviously the ducks, the swans, the geese, lots of gulls, black-headed gulls, herring gulls, all sorts. But as you can probably see in the footage I've shown you, it is very quiet indeed compared to normal. There is hardly a swan on this lake when there's usually a lot of swans on this lake, but there's hardly any. Now I have actually found, yep, cheers for that ducky, have actually found just to the other side, so this was going to be a floating restaurant years ago, but it never materialised. It never materialised at all. But just to the left of the bridge onto it, there is a dead swan, like the body of a swan. And now it looks like it's been there for a while, but it's obviously been eating as well, because, you know, if you don't want to see it, look away now, but here's a picture of it. Now, I'm not actually showing you the footage of this swan. What I am doing is just pre-warning you now that if you don't like to see anything dead, then as much as it hurts me, because I want you to watch my videos, then please switch off the video now, because you're going to see a lot of dead birds between now and the end of this video. So I'm going to try and get as far as I can around, because this is where the wind blows. So if anything has died on the water, it's going to end up this side, hence where that one ended up kind of stuck in the reeds the other side of the bridge. Most of them would end up down here. So I'm going to try and have a look around there. Probably should have brought my dinghy, to be honest, but a little bit chilly for that. Right, well, I couldn't get anywhere near the water's edge around the most of the Marina Lake where I wanted to go, which is where the wind was blowing in. So I've now left the area and I've moved around about a quarter, maybe a third of a mile further up the River Nen to what is called the Northampton washlands. So yeah, like I said, it's about half a mile maximum away from the Marina Lake where I was. So this here is the what they call the flood reservoir. It's like a holding reservoir for the flood. I mentioned this before in the video, but what they do is if it gets too high, then they release it and it goes flying down the river, and it used to flood Billing Aquadrome. It no longer should do that now, because further along was a smaller caravan park which they've now removed, because now that becomes more of a floodplain. So they've got the people off there to make them safe, and hopefully it doesn't flood Billing Aquadrome anymore. So what I've done is come to this, because this is a little bit further up the Nen, and I'm not liking the signs already, because I can actually see in the distance over here what looks like swan bodies along the edge of the water. So I'm going to walk around and have a look. Right, okay, this is not the nicest thing to look at in the world, I know, but this is clearly a cygnet. There's something else here as well, because that there, I don't know if you can see that, That is the beak of something else. But this is not looking good, because that is the first one I can see. I can see another one just a little bit further along on the grass as well. And I can also see white dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 white bits in the water that I can only think are more swan bodies. It's quite upsetting, it really is upsetting. I know it's not the nicest thing you want to see in the world, but just going back to why I'm making this video, the comments on the previous video, think of bird flu what you will, whether it's man-made or not, whether you think it's a load of crap or not. This is clearly not a load of crap. This is what is known as a triple SI, which is a site of specific scientific interest, which means it's basically a nature reserve. There's a hell of a lot of waterfowl on here, and there's also a lot of people that come around here and walk their dogs. So coming around here seeing this, you know, I've passed about 4, maybe 5 families with small kids just walking along with their dogs. I'm glad they're actually sticking to the main walkway up at the top of the bowl and not down here waterside like I am. But it is a long lake. I am going to get all the way around it and just see what's occurring up there. Mainly the water is running this way, hence why all these bodies have been found along this side. But I'll keep walking around because I want to.
The sight of the swans was heartbreaking. The Canadian geese seemed to be faring much better, although there was probably 24 swans on the water.
I'm only about halfway round this reservoir and I've counted 17 already. It's not good.
Things didn't get any better on the home stretch of the reservoir either. The swan count continued to grow, and now too was the count of the Canadian geese, and more species joined the list.
So I've got around about 200, 250 metres to go to get back to the start point before, obviously, so I started over there, don't know if you can see that metal bridge thing, and then obviously all the way around and all the way around and all the way around and right back to here, which is quite a long way. And to be honest, I'm glad to get to the end of it. One, I'm absolutely knackered, but secondly, what an eye-opener, it really is. It's just such a horrific thing to see. I'm glad I've done it, but at the same time, it's just horrible to see. It really is horrible. So I've probably got about 1.5 mile walk to get myself back to the car, and I shall see you back at home.
Like I said, I'm glad I've done it, and for the reasons why I've done it. Would I like to do it again and see it again? I don't think so.
Right, okay, I am home and I am already showered and changed. Don't worry, my clothes are already on a hot wash in the wash machine, along with one of my microphones because it's still attached to my jacket, so we shall see what it does, if it does anything, when it comes out. And my welly boots are in the boot of the car. They're not coming anywhere near my house or my aviary. So yeah, I'm rather worn out now. That was a long walk. I haven't actually looked at my official steps. I'd probably say it's quite a lot, but a bit of an eye-opener this weekend. Not a very nice scene at all. In the end, I counted 38 dead swans and cygnets, 14 Canadian geese, 4 mallards, 4 gulls and a cormorant, and also a bream and a carp, which probably weren't the bird flu. But no, it's not very nice, and what makes it even worse is they've been predated on by foxes or whatever, so it's just absolute carnage. And like I said, you've got children walking around there with their parents. It's a nice, 14 degrees, Sunday morning. It's a beautiful walk. Luckily, most people, like I said, they stay on the top of the bowl, so you wouldn't really, I mean, you can see the dead swans, you wouldn't see anything else because they're camouflage, but the swans you can clearly see. Once you see one, you can see them all. And like I said, there's a lot of them. It's just not nice at all. And there was obviously just feathers and bits and wings here and the skull over there. It's just not the prettiest thing in the world to see. You know, I just wanted to make the video just to let a few negative people hopefully understand a bit more of what I meant about the bird flu being so close to me and what it actually means to me, because I've lived here for like 48 years and these waterways have been part of my life growing up and now my children's lives. Luckily, I haven't got the girls this weekend and I wouldn't have took them anyway. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm now going to go and carry on putting the Christmas lights up while the girls are not here. Not that it matters because we're not doing it till the 30th, because that's when we put the Christmas tree up. So I'll see you next one. Goodbye. Oh, heck. No. Where are you? Yes! Still dry. Winning. Floor's not. Sort it out later.